Hi everybody, welcome to our Bring Back the Joy event. My name is Henrietta and tonight we're going to be sharing stories. We're going to be listening to what has occurred in our lives over the last year, something that is really special to us. So welcome, and we're really happy to if you're watching this as a recording, we're really excited about what we have tonight for you. So before we jump in, like I said, my name is Henrietta. I'm a homeschooling mum. I have 5 children whom I homeschool, and what we're about to share with you, this came into my life 11 months ago, and this is a health event and also a wealth event. So for me and my family, my eldest is 16, we've always homeschooled, we're always one income. But in terms of health, this journey happened for me when I was 18. And my father, actually, he was younger than I am now when he got cancer, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And 8 months after he was diagnosed, he passed away. And so what happened for me was I had this idea in my head that when I am 42, I will start getting symptoms and things like that. And I thought that for a really, really long time. I thought it especially for my husband, who is 47. And when he started getting into his late 30s, I started to get really worried because his eating habits were horrible. And so we had this belief. I did anyway. I had this belief because I think that's really, really young to pass away and to leave a family with 4 girls and my mum, of course. And so it became the catalyst for a journey of discovery for me. I decided, you know what? No, I'm not going to live like this. I'm going to start changing things. I'm going to research, and I did. And I learnt a lot of things. I learnt that there are, I'm not going to say that cancer is curable, but I came across many people who had cured cancer, and through, diet and the way they lived and their lifestyle. And so that to me was a hope. And I decided that we wanted to be healthy. We were healthy anyway as a family, but there was more to it as well. And so I went on this journey. I became a raw food coach after the birth of my 5th child, and I lost 20 kilos, and that was a side benefit, but I just wanted to be constantly cancer-free. And anyway, I did go to the doctor a couple of years ago, and she goes, not for that though, but she said, the best thing is you don't have any cancers, which was really cool for me. But then we moved to Tasmania. We stopped juicing and having our smoothies because we stopped having our smoothies because it was really cold in Tassie. And I was looking for something, and you're going to learn tonight what I found. And basically it was just a myriad of raw fruits and vegetables and berries. I researched it for 5 months, and then I jumped in. I jumped on board, and now since then, 11 months ago, we as a team have brought in over 500 families, and we've shared the power of fruits and vegetables and berries. And you're going to hear that tonight. And with that, I'm going to pass the time over to Leona, who is going to share with you what we're all about here. So, hey, Leona.
Hey, thank you. My name's Leona, and I live in cold Tasmania. Thank you. And I homeschool too. I have 6 children, and I started taking these products about 2 months ago, and I was juicing too. And juicing is great when it's warm, isn't it? But it is harder to do when it's cold. I was doing it though because I was really sore. Okay. Is that better? Linda said she can't hear me very well. Yeah, I was juicing because I was quite sore. I have fibromyalgia, and so I have a lot of joint pain. And so I found that if I stopped eating and I just turned to juicing for a period of time, I could relieve a lot of my symptoms. A couple of things though that were difficult for me with juicing, it was time consuming. It was expensive too. Having like 4 juices a day every single day costs a lot of money. And I was also aware that I couldn't afford to get the fruits and vegetables organically. So I knew that they probably had some sprays and pesticides and herbicides on them, but that was just the best I could do at the time. And so, yeah, I would juice when I was really sore and it helped me feel better. And around that time, about 7 months ago, when I was feeling like that, a friend of mine introduced this concept to me of having fruits, vegetables and berries in a capsule. And so they look like this. And we have the fruits, the vegetables and the berries. And so this is great because I thought, you know what, I wonder if I could get the same benefit as I do from juicing, from just swallowing this every day. And I had a look at I looked it up as well. It didn't take me too long to sort of notice that it was very similar and that I could understand the ingredients. So there weren't words that I couldn't understand. I could read it and I could see blueberry and grape and cranberry and blackberry and bilberry and raspberry, blackcurrant, elderberry, things like that in the berries. And in the fruit one, there's apple, orange, lemon, grapefruit, pineapple, cranberry, papaya, fruit, prune, date, beetroot, peach, acerola cherry. So, I recognize them. And the great thing about these is that because we recognize it, our body recognizes it. So it's bioavailable. So unlike other things that we take into our bodies, like a lot of synthetic vitamins that just go straight through, these are actually absorbed straight into the bloodstream within minutes. And so you feel the effects really quickly. So I love that. The other thing I love about these is that I don't have to worry about the chemicals. I didn't have to worry about the spinach that was sprayed and the kale that was treated and, things like that. I can take these and know that they're pure. So these are tested for heavy metals at least 4 times before they're shipped out. And there's no GMOs in here, nothing like that. So they're the purest supplement on the market. And so I really like that. And so I decided to try them out and I thought, yeah, give them a go. So I ordered them and my friend said to me, you can actually get some kids products for free. And I was like, oh, cool. Okay. So I chose one of my sons who's 12 and has eczema. He's had eczema since he was born. He used to have it on his face as a baby, but now he's older, it's sort of spread over the rest of his body. And hay fever and asthma. And so we also have these kids chews, and he became part of the child health study. And so the child health study now, they've been able to collect data on over 1 million different children, and they've discovered that children who've been taking these chews, which is similar to the capsules, but they're just in kiddie form so they can chew on them, and they look like that. My kids really like them too, so I have to keep them in the fridge on the top shelf. But yeah, children that take them every day, they've found that they're starting to feel like more fruits and veggies because like attracts like, and they're getting the goodness in their body and they're starting to crave more healthy foods. They've also found that they're having less sick days from school, that they've got stronger immunity, so they're not getting as sick when they get colds and flus, or they're not getting them at all. They're finding that they're sleeping better, that they're behaving better, that they can concentrate and things like that. And for my son, he's been taking them now the same amount of time as me, and he doesn't have eczema anymore. He doesn't have to worry about that, which is fantastic. And he doesn't have hay fever or asthma either. And that was actually a really nice side benefit for me too that I wasn't even counting on, is that my hay fever and asthma is gone too. So him and I used to be the druggies in the family and take medication every single day for different things. And for me, it was antihistamines for my allergies and pain relief, and a Ventolin for my asthma. And for Benny, it was different medications. He had creams for his eczema and same sort of thing, antihistamine and things like that for his hay fever. And so we do nothing now. We just take this. And I love it. It's just, we've replaced it with food. It's whole food. We also have these powders, so chocolate and vanilla. And the capsules are our micronutrients, and the The complete powder is like our macronutrients. So our, you know, like a complete meal. So it has plant protein in it. It has, you know, carbohydrates, healthy carbohydrates, the right amounts of sugars in there, and fats, and all healthy and plant-based. So they're vegan, they're gluten-free, they're dairy-free. They even have niacin in them, which is a mood elevator. So they help us to feel good. Again, my kids love those too. So they're hidden in my room. They're right here in front of me. I'm in my bedroom. I can't leave them on the bench because they take them all. But we like to boost them. So we chuck in lots of things. So I've got a 4-year-old who's really fussy. And I'm so grateful for the chews because he has them every day and he loves his shakes. And so I chuck in, you know, different vegetables and coconut milk and things like that. But in the complete powder, I just like superfoods as well. So you've got broccoli sprouts and alfalfa sprouts and radish sprouts, organic amaranth, organic quinoa, pumpkin powder, pomegranate powder, spirulina powder, yucca powder, mushroom powder, and things like that. And so, yeah, it's like a breakfast. Well, we do smoothie bowls with it. We do lots of different things with it. We can bulk it up and we can feed the whole family with it, or I can sometimes just take a sachet and chuck it into some water if I'm busy and give it a shake. Yeah, it's great. There's no health warnings, you know, like they're safe. All of these products are safe to take if you're pregnant or if you're breastfeeding. They're safe for the elderly. So I like that too. I know that I can give it to my children. And it's lucky for us because my 2-year-old runs off with these quite often actually and hides in a room and just eats them from the packet. And I think, okay, he's not going to overdose on veggies. He's safe. So, yeah. And the other thing, I'll just finish off by letting you know that they've also done studies, 32 now, peer-reviewed medical journals that have been done up on Juice Plus, and they're available for the public too. If you go to the website, you can have a look at the studies that have been done, and it's been proven that, you know, micronutrients do reduce inflammation in our bodies. And so, you know, you'll hear other stories tonight, and everybody's different, and everybody, you know, manifests inflammation in a different way. So for me, it was pain with my fibromyalgia, my allergies, and with my son, it was his skin and his allergies. And it's different for different people. But, you know, having a concentrated dose of fruits, vegetables and berries in our diet every single day helps reduce that and just helps us feel better in lots of different ways. So, yeah, I really love it. So thanks, H. Is that
Thank you. That's perfect. Thank you very much. So the beauty of this is we actually get to hear stories like you just have, and I never ever tire of Leona's story. So what we're going to do, we've asked Brooke to share her story about how she's implemented this into her life. So I will spotlight. Hello, Brooke.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, my name's Brooke. I'm a single mum to a 12-year-old boy. And my son he's been diagnosed with ASD, so high functioning autism, and also ADHD and generalized anxiety disorder. And he has sensory issues and, a whole range that goes with it. So for us, he was in school for 3 years, and it wasn't working. He was just his anxiety was so high. He was really lashing out violently at school, and it just didn't work for him at all. So after 3 years, we really had no option other than to homeschool. So I ended up, needing to quit my job. I had to sell the house, and we had to move to, an area far away from where our family and friends were. And we felt very isolated in doing so. And after a year there, we decided to travel full time. So we now travel the country full time in a caravan with our dog. And whilst we were travelling, we came across a lady in a caravan park up in Bundaberg in Queensland, and we were talking about kids' health and nutrition. And because my son being on the spectrum, his diet was quite plain, and he'd eat a few fruits, but he didn't like vegetables, white potato, white rice, and very plain palate. And we'd just come in from Outback Queensland, where it was $6 for a loaf of white bread. It was very difficult to get really fresh fruit and veg. And what was there had been stored for a long time, or it had been frozen, or, was poor quality. So even if I did get what he needed from the shops, he wasn't eating it anyway. So we started, I ended up getting the free products for him and thought I'll give them a go myself. I've got nothing to lose. I knew absolutely nothing about them, had no expectations at all. Within about 4 months or so for me, I have a herniated disc in my lower back. So if you can imagine hooking up a caravan to a four-wheel drive on my own, every couple of days, it was really hard work on my back. And I found after about 4 months of taking Juice Plus that I wasn't having Nurofen every single day, like 6 to 8 every day, just to keep the back pain at bay. I just woke up one morning and thought, oh my God, I haven't had that for such a long time. So for me, that's what it's done for me. It's really brought that inflammation down. So I'm able to actually, manage the traveling and do the things that I want to do with my son, which I love. And for my son, that was where that's what really blew me away. Like I said, I had zero expectations when we started. So about 5 or 6 months in, I really noticed that that my son, his anxiety was always very, very high, and the depression was very, very low. So much so that when he was 8, he wanted to kill himself. He was just all over the place, very unstable, and a real handful. And each hour of every day, I didn't know what I was going to be, faced with. So the highs within about 5 or 6 months of taking Juice Plus, the highs weren't as high, the lows weren't as low. He just kind of leveled out a whole lot, so much so that I was able to take him off the ADHD medication that he'd been on. He'd been on antidepressants and sleeping tablets and all sorts of things prior to that. But the Juice Plus, we found, did exactly the same as the really harsh, I guess, ADHD medication, which if you ever read the labels of those things, my son was heading into teenage years, and it talked about self-harm, suicidal behaviours, and considering his past history, I just thought, I can't do this anymore. So to be able to get him off that kind of, mind-altering medication and replace it with fruits and vegetables just blows me away. And my family has a history of heart disease, cancer, mental health issues, everything you can imagine. My family history has it, and I did not want that for my son. And I'm just so grateful that I found something while he's so young that can help him to manage his autism, and to help him to, I guess, prevent in his body the history that I'm probably stuck with. I don't know if it's too late for me, but it's certainly not too late for him. So I can't speak highly enough of it. I'm just so blessed that it came into our lives, and it will always be in our lives. I'm never going to stop taking it. So I'm really happy. Thank you.
Wow, that's incredible. Thank you so much for sharing that, Brooke. That is really awesome. So I'm lost for words. That was a really cool testimony. I think that the good thing about it is when you didn't go into it expecting anything, and for it to, because a lot of people say, and I'm actually going to talk to you too about a few myths. Some people talk about a placebo effect, but we are going to look at dispelling a few myths as well. So we're going to switch it up a little. And there is a business attached to this. And for me, it was a no-brainer. Single income. And I just wanted to do more with my family. But most of all, I wanted to support my husband. He's just supported us for 21 years, and I wanted to be able to help supplement his income. But what happens sometimes when we share this with people, they have this idea that it's a pyramid. So pyramids are actually illegal, and so we don't do them. But what happens is, if you look at a traditional job, usually you start down here. So in my first few years of marriage, I was working at a supermarket store, like a large chain in New Zealand. And so I was down here as a checkout girl, and I loved it. And you know what? I am a really good worker. when I put my mind to something, I just work hard. And so I was doing a lot of extra things because I wanted to be checkout supervisor. So checkout supervisors were here. There were 5. And I was there for a couple of years. And I felt I proved myself, but I still just didn't get up there because there were some who had more experience. Well, they'd been there longer and they knew people. So up here you had the local manager, and then you have the regional manager, and right up here you have the CEO, right? Okay, so if you can see, there's not much space up there, and unless you have a degree, there is not much space up here for you either. So it was probably likely I would stay down there unless I went back to school and got a degree in retail of sorts. But what we like to do is when we start out, we actually flip it up. Whoops, excuse my triangle. We flip it up and we start down here. Now, even though it seems like we start on our own, we actually don't. We start out as a virtual franchisee, and we have a lot of support down here. And you know what? That support comes from up here. And then as you grow in your business, you come up here. If you can see, there's a lot of room for people that are called NMD. But that support just grows as you meet new people. I've gotten to know so many people, and most of the people here on this event I did not know. So I love that this is a different system for us. The other thing that I was a bit wary of was knowing a lot of people, because I actually had that before. I had a friend interested, and she goes, I don't know anybody. Well, you know what? You don't need to know many people. So I started here, and this is me, and I shared with a few people, and I shared with Liz, I shared with Hine, who are on here, and I shared with Tina. And so what happened was Tina, and we've got Leona here and a few others. And so Tina shared with Joanna, Joanna shared with Arahi, Tina shared with a few others, with Shai shared with her friend. And see what happens there. We've got Leona here who shared with Linda, who's on tonight, and Andrea, who shared with Nikki, and it just keeps going on and on and on. Now, the person that introduced it to me, I did not know her. I saw her doing something on Facebook, and I just reached out to her, and that's Tracy. Okay, and so we call this the popcorn effect. And so this shows the power of this business, this popcorn. It just grows and grows and grows, and you get to a stage too where it will grow without you, which is what I love. The other thing about this business is we get paid 3 ways. We get paid retail, commission, and bonuses. And this is a very different system. I actually learned recently there are different systems in different companies where this can just go, you can grow it as big as you like. And a lot of other companies, I just learned that you cannot. There is a cap. But this, you can grow as big as you like. These are great because when you start out, we help incentivize our team to, reach certain bonuses. If they don't, it doesn't matter. It really does not matter. But this helps us too. You get $400 bonuses, $600 bonuses, $1,200 bonuses. And in the month of December, I think I had a $2,000 paycheck. That was just bonuses on top of my retail and my commission. And so this has been life-changing for my family. And we are going to hear from another beautiful Brooke. We've got some beautiful Brooks on the call tonight, and Brooke is going to share a little bit about her business. So, hello.
So, thanks so much for having me on. I'm going to get myself off the large screen. Hi, everybody. So, my name's Brooke. I just want to say thanks so much for sharing your story, Brooke and Leona. Just incredible stories. And I also have a pretty life-changing story from the products, and it was all to do with inflammation. So another time I'll share that, but it's definitely changed my life and my health in so many ways. But the business was something that I was super interested in. I had big belief in the products, and I'm a single mother. I've got a 2.5-year-old, and my previous profession was dental nursing. And when I came across the opportunity, I looked into network marketing, and I did a lot of research before I decided that this was the path that I wanted to take. And I understood how powerful it really was. Like I did a lot of research, especially now, like this day and age where we've got the power of technology and, social media. I really knew that, and I had a good look at the compensation plan, and I knew that this was a really smart move for me to take. So actually, when I first started the business, I was going through separation, and I can honestly say that the products, the business, and having this path really helped me find my feet as a single parent. So what attracted me to it was there were so many things that attracted me to it. My belief in the products, my belief in the industry was a huge step for me to tick off and say, yes, this is the path I want to take. And within the first month, like Hinadetta was saying before, in regards to the bonuses, I started off really strong, and I had, I reached my bonuses, and I had a good, my first month, I think I made over $1,000, which was super exciting. And from there, I've just been able to grow and to share my experience with other people and grow my business. So what I love is that it's given me the opportunity to be able to work from home. And my son, he's working, I'm working around him most days. I do put him in daycare for 2 days just for the interaction with the other children. But I love that I am able to work around him when he's asleep. I can have him at home, I can do my bits and pieces, and I love that I don't have to put him into daycare and be, working for somebody else and all my money going to daycare. So that's, and another thing with the business is there's so much support, like as H was saying as well, like there's just so much support, and you're never on your own. You have, you've got your leaders who are at that national marketing director, the NMD, the CEO, up the top, and they guide you, and we've got a proven system that works. So you don't come in, you don't have to know everything, and you've got people to help you along your journey. And I just love that there's so many unlimited possibilities, like with the bonuses, and I'm actually going over to America next week with the company. So we've got an international conference, and so I'm very excited about that opportunity. Like I would not have been able to travel. I don't know how I would have been able to travel before this. So it's just given me so much more opportunities and possibilities, and really given me, I'm able to dream again. Like I've just got so many goals and so many dreams now that I didn't have before I came across this opportunity. So yeah, I'm really excited about the future, and we've also got another conference coming up that we're all going to on the Gold Coast in June. So we're all very excited to finally meet one another in person. So yeah, I'm very, very blessed and feel very excited for my future within this business. So thanks for.
Thanks so much, Brooke. I Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for sharing. Thank you for your stories, for your heart and what you are doing here. It's been an amazing journey for so many of us, and I don't say that lightly because when I jumped on, I was going gung-ho because I love it so much. And then a week before Christmas, my husband lost his job, and for the first time in 21 years, because it's happened before, where's the job security these days? But we were not stressed. I told him it's okay, we're fine. I can support our family. And then we decided to do a trip around Tassie, and then we decided we'd take our time coming up because we moved from Tassie to be with our family. And so it's been a really incredible journey. One of the best parts are connecting with women just like the woman you've heard tonight. And also our leaders, a lot of men are in our teams, and the connection and the support has been amazing. It's been incredible. And like Brooke said, we're getting ready for a conference in a couple of months. There'll be about 16, I'm thinking maybe more, in one house in Gold Coast. So that's going to be crazy. I sure hope we're going to get some sleep, but it's going to be really cool. Some of us have not met. We've met here, but we haven't met face to face, and we're really excited about that. Brooke, Leona, and Linda, who's on tonight, and there's about 5 others I know they're all going to LA next week, in a few days, for another conference. And it's all due to our passion for this. So if you have been sent this recording and you have asked yourself, what if? You have thought maybe there's a better way to living, there's a better way to creating an income for my family. Your why is a little bit different and it's less achievable with what you are doing now. Maybe you see yourself doing other things, but if this is something for you, then I encourage you to reach out to the person who sent you the recording, who invited you to this event, and to just reach out, and maybe they'll share how this has helped them and how it can possibly help you, because really the possibilities are limitless, and that's what we are starting to do now. We are starting to, like Brooke said, dream again and bring back the joy into our lives in terms of health, as you've heard tonight, and in terms of creating something real for our families. So thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, everybody. And until next week, I'll see you later. Goodbye.
Bye.